What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. I just want to focus in on, talking about players and, where they could end up. What would Noah Hanifin be like for the Colorado Avalanche? And this is a very, very intriguing story. The Avs are outside the top three right now. They're, I think, 24th in the league, so they're, they'd be picking sixth if it just went off merit. But, with the lottery and the fact that they could free fall and all that, that's definitely a thing to keep an eye on. Now, why would Noah Hanifin be especially intriguing, besides the fact that he'd offer, the Avalanche a potential number one defenseman that they really don't have in that organization? What I find interesting is Patrick Roy is, I think he just sold the team, but, was head coach of the Quebec Ramparts and owner for a while, and he wanted Noah Hanifin, probably still wants him out there to play for the Ramparts, and I think especially with the team hosting the Memorial Cup this year, it'd be a great fit. It's not going to happen. Friendly trench with Boston College, the kid couldn't be happier, but interesting story to think about. Obviously, Patrick Roy is the head coach of the Avs. What would it be like for Roy to finally get the chance to coach Hanifin, whether it's in the NHL or, yeah, the NHL, obviously, but that's interesting. I like that story. I think that's a pretty interesting dynamic. Even though Roy had already taken the Colorado job by the time by the time Hanifin was drafted by the Ramparts, he was still associated with the organization, and I'm sure made a pitch or two to the Northern Massachusetts native to take his talents to Quebec and help that team. But you look at what Hanifin brings to the table, which is definitely something that the Avalanche organization do not have. I think you look at the 2011 and 2012 drafts when the jury's still out. Passing on, Connor Murphy and Bolio, guys like that for Duncan Simmons, who's the highest drafted player in that draft and not play a game in the show. And Jonas Brodin went a pick ahead of him. You think, what if he fell to the Avs? What would that team look like? Because for all the skilled forwards they have, they've lacked a number one defenseman, and Hanifin can be that guy. And then I think going a step further, the 2012 draft, they trade away their pick in the infamous Semyon Varlamov deal. And as good as Varlamov's been, would you rather have, obviously the pick turned out to be Philip Forsberg, who Washington in turn made the even stupider move and traded him for Martin Erat. Would you have a guy like I'm trying to see the defenseman there. Oh, Cody Ceci, Oli Mata, London Knights own. That's definitely some guys that could help that team. And again, the jury's still out, but those guys on the blue line would definitely be beneficial. So, bottom line, Hanifin, if they get in that top three, would be a fantastic addition on the blue line. And for Patrick Roy to finally get the ability to coach this kid would be great. And I mean, he'd stand the chance to be the best defenseman Colorado's had since Rob Blake moved on in 2006. Be a true number one defenseman. I think that's what Hanifin's upside is. I think he can definitely reach that with an organization like Colorado. And a guy like him back there with so many skilled forwards up front, you're looking at a team that's going to be contender in the Western Conference for many, many years. I mean, I think that their lack of defense, it's been their Achilles heel all season. It was their Achilles heel last year. Last year they were able to overcome it. This year, not so much. So, you add a guy like Hanifin. I mean, you're not going to expect him to be Duncan Keith or Drew Doughty next season at age 18, coming right off the campus of Boston College. But, you look at what he can develop into. You'd be foolish as anything other than a great fit. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's our episode of the Power Play with CJ on the possibility of the Avalanche drafting Noah Hanifin. Stay tuned for episodes for the season and beyond. Later, guys.